What do you think about what he said so far and what our conversation has been?
I think it's nonsense. I mean, Oren, you're wasting your life right now in your bedroom, living in a fantasy bubble. You're not a cyborg. You're my son, I love you, but you're not a cyborg. And we can't live like this anymore. And you've got 2 younger siblings underneath you who are watching this. What, so that they're supposed to go to college and then end up doing, the same thing, that they can just sit up
At least they would
in
go
my
to
house?
college.
Huh?
At least they would go to
Yeah,
college.
but the whole point of
We are
going to
providing a
college
message for
is
them.
that you continue on your journey and
If
that
anything,
you
we are a
have
role model,
career.
showing that we are not letting detractors distract us from our greater vision.
Oren, this is all nonsensical.
If
This
you have a
doesn't make
vision,
any
believe in it.
sense. This is a vision that is not based in reality. You're not living
Who
in
is
a
based in
realistic.
reality?
You're living in my home, and you're not contributing. That's not realistic.
Let me ask a few questions. You say you come from the future, and one of the things that you would know from a scientific standpoint is that you have to consider all data points. You have to consider everything. You don't prejudge anything, right? You gather data. Is it possible that you're delusional?
No. To you, we might be, but to us, we make perfect sense.
Well,
Can we give you an example?
That wasn't the question. The question is it possible?
Anything is possible.
Okay, that's what I expected you to say, because if you're at a higher order of thinking and you're approaching this from an objective and scientific way, you have to account for the possibility that your thinking is delusional.
Correct.
You can't dismiss that.
Correct.
You were going to give me an example.
Forget it.
Okay, because I'm trying to find out, you're coming from the future, what is a message that's new?
Artificial intelligence.
There's nothing novel about artificial intelligence. You know about artificial intelligence because of what you've seen, read, and heard. Here are your cyborg predictions and beliefs. An artificial intelligence takes over the planet. Well, according to James Lovelock, a famed environmentalist, artificial intelligence will soon overwhelm us and remake the world. That didn't come from 2050. That's a very well-publicized position today by Dr.
But that
Lovelock.
is if our goals and artificial intelligence goals are aligned. A lack of alignment could mean that they break out.
You said we're going to run out of natural resources, crops, and food. Well, according to the World Economic Forum, by 2050, 9 billion are headed towards food security crisis. That's nothing new. Tell me something I don't know that comes from 2050.
You are making the assumption that everybody has these same principles and values, that everybody has read these articles.
No,
What
I'm
about the
making the
people who-
assumption that you know about it because you did read the articles.
Correct. We do know
Not
this.
because you got it from the year 2050. And you said something that I found really interesting when we were interviewing you. And because you're from the future, but listen to something that you said.
Just come down.
You are
just come
disturbing our
down.
operations. We are receiving
Just come
programming.
down.
We are watching video. We are learning
Learning what?
about the future.
You said you're learning about the future. I thought you were from the future.
We must still inform ourselves.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.